I'm sure you all know that when it comes to everything you need to build a thriving business, I'm not going to hide anything from you. And that is why I brought to you yet another hot topic today. Hello everyone, my name is Shifmi Dada and I'm here to welcome you to another episode of Whip and Chat podcast. If today is your first time on this channel, you are welcome. It's really a big family, and on this podcast what we do is we speak about everything entrepreneurship, from the highs to the lows to the in-between, without gatekeeping anything. And we speak about what you need to build a thriving and sustainable business here in Nigeria and in Africa and in every other part of the world. So if you're already a part of the family, you're welcome. If you are yet to be a part of the family, please go ahead and click that subscribe button, and please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Look at other videos that we've posted and feast on them and apply the lessons to your business. All right, let's dive right into this topic. So last week we spoke about something very, very important. We spoke about pricing, how to get your pricing right. But I've discovered that so many times people calculate their direct cost, the cost of their raw materials, without putting something very important into consideration, which is their overhead cost. And today we'll be diving deeper into the nitty-gritty of what overhead cost entails and how you can incorporate your overhead cost into your pricing so that you can build that business that is self-sustainable and that is highly profitable. So what is overhead costs? Overhead costs are those fixed or indirect costs that your business incurs that are very essential for the smooth running of your business. They are not part of your raw materials, but they are those costs that if you are not paying attention, you won't even know that your business are incurring those costs. And not factoring it well into your business, into your pricing, can mar your business. It can make the growth of your business stunted. So examples of overhead costs are rent, staff admin salary, your data subscription, the amount spent on marketing, the amount spent on your cable subscription, and those indirect costs that you incur in keeping your business afloat. And most of the time you discover that so many business owners, once they pay the rent for the first year, it's always difficult to pay the rent for the second year. That is because they are not factoring this into the pricing of their products. And even so many times you see that when so many business owners want to get new equipment, they have to borrow money to be able to get those big equipments that just packed up. And it is so because they are not factoring in the overhead cost for those asset depreciation, and this is very important for us to take note of. So I'm going to be giving an example of how to calculate your overhead cost, because a quota of your cost must take care of the different overhead costs that your business is incurring. So let's take, for example, your rent. As a business owner, let's assume your rent for a year is 1 million naira. So in order to be able to calculate how many quota of this has to go into your pricing, what you need to do is simple. Number one, you need to divide 1 million naira by 12. If you divide 1 million naira by 12, you will have about 83. We have 12 months in a year. So you want to get how much your rent is month on month. So, and to do this, you divide 1 million naira by 12. When you divide 1 million naira by 12, you get 83,333 naira 0.33. It's a whole lot of this thing, but you can round it up to be 3,350 naira. So, and let's assume you're in the fashion industry, because of course last week during the last episode, the example we used was for someone who is a fashion designer and makes ready to wear. So let's assume you are still in the fashion industry and you need to determine how many dresses or how many ready to wear you produce per month, the average number of dresses you produce per month. And let's say, for example, you produce about 40 dresses or 40 ready to wear per month. What you need to do is now to divide that 83,350 by 40. That will give you the amount of your overhead cost, your rent. We have so many things that makes up overhead costs, but depending on the level of your business. But of course, rent is general to everybody. So that means the amount that 83,350 divided by 40 dresses that you produce per week gives you, that is the quota of your overhead cost for rent that must go into your pricing. And of course, when you do that math, you get about 2,100 naira thereabout. So that means for every dress that you are pricing, 2,100 must be added to your cost price, which must go into your overhead cost, which must save your overhead cost. And one of the wisdom that you can apply around this, in order to ensure that at the end of the day you are not spending all the money together, is to create a system whereby as you are making each dress, mind you factor that your rent into each dress already. As you are making each dress and you are sending it out, have a separate account where you send that quota that has to do with your rent into, so that at the end of the year you are not in a dilemma. You are not thinking of how to raise money to pay your rent again. And of course, there is an advanced way of also doing this thing, which is also factoring in inflation when you are calculating your overhead costs. For example, we all know that Nigerian landlords, there's a way they move these days. You may pay 1 million naira this year, by next year you may be paying 1.5 million, you may be paying 2 million. So it's advisable that you had a little bit of cushioning to it, such that your business will be able to accommodate it conveniently the next time. And this is the same thing that you have to do for every other fixed cost, every other overhead cost or fixed cost that your business is incurring, such as your data subscription. How much are you spending on data and airtime per month? How much are you spending on cable subscription per month? How much are you spending on consulting quarterly or monthly, depending on what the case may be? Divide it by the number of products, every number of products that you produce, and you'll be able to get the quota of that has to get into your pricing. Now, having done that, there is something that we also need to be able to understand, and that is how you can be able to have a competitive price in the market, because it is important that you are able to keep your pricing competitive, such that when it is compared with that of your competitors, you are able to stand out, and your target audience can still find you, can still be able to have the ability to purchase your products. So, and one of the things that you need to do is to buy your raw materials in bulk. This is very important, and you can be able to achieve this by understanding which of your products sells the most. So ensure you get inventory in bulk for those best-selling products that you have. If you see that it is male shoes, this particular type of shoe for male that sells the most for you, stock up more raw materials in bulk, buy raw materials in bulk to produce that kind of products, so that you are able to beat down the cost of incident transportation to the market to get raw materials in bits. You are able to negotiate better when you are speaking with your wholesaler, with the person that is supplying you. Then the second thing is to identify your high moving products and only store inventory for that. I explained that in the first point. Then the third thing is to reduce your overhead costs. This is one of the major strategies that sustainable businesses use. As much as possible, you want to keep your overhead costs minimal, and you can be able to do this when you have a good grasp of what your overhead cost entails. You want to look at it, how are we spending more money on electricity? What can we do better to reduce how much we are spending? If I'm spending so much money on petrol is too much, can we convert our generator to CNG so that we use gas instead of petrol? And that's way we can be able to cut down costs. You can just look for alternatives. Are we turning the AC on when nobody is inside the store? Is there a way we can beat that down just so we can be able to manage our overhead cost? This is very important. Then the next thing is to buy from wholesalers and not retailers. This is very important. Business owners, you can't be lazy. Look for where the people that are selling wholesale are. Reach out to them, like hands with them, and start buying from them. This will really help you to be able to cut down your pricing and to be able to give your customers a competitive price that will keep them coming back to you. All right, guys, so I really hope you'll be looking into your business, this week, looking at what you can do better, taking out time to break down each of the costs that your business is incurring down bit by bit, both the direct costs and the indirect costs, and reviewing the price that you put on your products so that your business can become profitable, self-sustainable, and you can build the next big thing in Nigeria and in Africa. I'm really looking forward to hearing your comments and your feedbacks about the changes you'll be making this week, about your pricing model, and about how you are able to better serve your customers. So if you find this episode helpful, I want you to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share to that entrepreneur around you or that founder around you. You'll be doing them a huge favor by sharing this video with them. Alright, guys, so next week we'll be discussing something very sweet. I mean, this particular topic, I'm really excited about it already, and I really want you to on your notification button so that when we drop the next episode on Saturday, you can be the first person to get notified. Bye, guys.